Hello and welcome back to Mike's Basement. So, I'm finally ready for you right now with a video about Star Citizen. Today, we're going to go mining a little bit. For starters, I think we're going to use my Prospector to go mining. So, I don't know if I've said it yet, but I think I've sort of landed on a setup with my system that I enjoy with my ships. So I have bought the Constellation Taurus. Right now I have the Loner, that is the Constellation Andromeda, because the Taurus is not out yet. And I have also bought or pledged, if you will, for the MISC Prospector, which is the mining vessel. I found that when I can mine in my own temple the way I like to do it and all that, I actually pretty much enjoy mining. It's when certain ways have to be fulfilled that I don't really enjoy it. So that's the real difference here. But let's go into the game and then I'll talk a little bit about what I like about mining and how I see my future in it. So let's get going. Yeah, EU, that's okay. I think I'm going to let my microphone go down a little bit. Like that. So that it really doesn't take up any part of my screen. Maybe I should adjust the pop filter a little bit while we are still waiting for the game to load in. So yes, before, well, I think I made a couple of videos about this, and before we had refineries in Star Citizen, I really didn't enjoy mining very much because you had to be very, very careful about which rocks you choose to mine. You could say that's the way it is, right? You have to think about what you mine. You also have to do that in real life. And to some extent I do, but what I didn't like about it was this, I would almost say, endless search for good rocks to mine. And you had to find really good rocks because you could only sell what you had in the Prospector as you came in. So let me just show you. I think I've already talked a little bit about how and why I like mining, what I like about the new refinery system. Oh, I'm getting horrible frame rates here. That's not so good. But I think it's because I'm near Hurston. I didn't move. I had some orc fun yesterday, a little bit, where we played some weapons tag, so tag your it with weapons. So the idea was very basic. You had two teams. We had a huge team consisting of 35 person or something like that, and then we had a slightly smaller team consisting of 5 people that were dressed in red. So they had red armor, and the rest of us, we had, well, we had white armor or something like that. Anything else that wasn't red. And the idea behind the event was very simple. The red ones have to kill the white ones, and the white ones have to kill the red ones. Now here's the tag part. The tag part is that if you, as a person dressed in white, let's take the red. If you, as a person dressed in red, shoot someone that is dressed in white, or you can say the other way around, if you're a person dressed in white and you got killed, then you respawned in a cutty red and you had to take on a red uniform. So that's why it's something a little like a tag, because every time someone in white died, they instantly became red and had to hunt the whites to make them red. And then the last people that were present, that hadn't been killed, was the good ones, the winners here. I wasn't. I think I held my ground. I held my ground pretty okay, but I did lose my life. I actually think it was a friendly fire situation. Let me see, platform. All right. So yeah, so that's why I'm here at the Eris Harbor. So we're going to go to not very far. We're going to go to Hurl 1, and from there on we're going to take first a Prospector. I can show you why I like to mine with the Prospector right now and what it gives me. And then if there's time in this video, I'm trying to make them as short as I can, even though they tend to become very, very big and very, very long. It seems to be sort of an endless problem for me. I try to make my videos in a reasonable length, but they always end up being insanely long. So yeah, that's the thing, right? Here. But and I think one of the issues really with trying to make your videos short here in Star Citizen is that either you have to, in my opinion, butcher your videos to the extent where, in my opinion, they aren't really Star Citizen videos anymore, because you have to make them so short. The other option is that you accept that Star Citizen is a game that sinks time. Just the fact that you have to traverse huge distances to get from A to B means that it's a game that naturally will take a lot of time off your hands when you try to make a video and when you play the game in general. But still, I try my best to keep them relatively short, so no more than 1 hour. And try to cut them down so that they are less than an hour. Preferably, I will try to keep them below 45 minutes, because I think 45 minutes watching one person doing the same thing tend to be a little bit boring. I can certainly understand that. Also, in this video, Bandicam, it seems, or it might be Epoch Cam, I don't know what it is. I'm recording with Bandicam. It seems that they finally found a solution for the problem when you try to use Epoch Cam as your webcam. So I'm using my iPhone 11 right now as my camera, and honestly, I think it's really nice. Also, I've begun to use, as you can see here, let me just show you, a reshade on my game, and one of the advantages is that you get this for free. It has actually a preference, a preset that one of the guys in my org has set up. So shout out to Mr. Boy. Thank you for this. It really helps. So basically, it just turns up your gamma in a sense, and then give it this green hue that you usually see when you have when you're using night vision. It seems that CIG in some sense is planning for night vision to come to us at some point, but until then I will use the preference that I have here, the preset that I have here. So we're going to go to Hurl 1. That's the Green Glade station. There are two places that I mainly mine at the moment. One is Crusader L3, and one is in the Aaron Halo here, this cluster of comets and asteroids that are here between, well, in this case it's actually between, in some sense, the orbit of Crusader and the orbit of ArcCorp. But before we said that it was between the orbit of Crusader and the orbit of Delamar. That's basically the same thing. So we're going to go to Hurl 1, and I'll meet you when we get there. There's no reason for you to watch me travel, so I'll see you then. Alright, so welcome to Hurl 1, one of the Lagrange points we have right now, which has a refinery. It's pretty neat, because that is really what has changed my mind big time regarding wanting to mine or not. So for those of you who aren't very much into the mining gameplay loop in Star Citizen and what it entails and what you can do and all that, let me try to sort of briefly explain it to you. Before 3. I think it was 3.12 we actually got it. Maybe it was... Yeah, it was 3.12 we got refineries, I'm pretty sure. Before 3.12, you could also mine. There was really only one way you could sell your minables. And that was by taking them to an ore selling point. It could be... There was one around... one at Port Olisar. They were shifted around, but they were mainly at the bigger places, like the bigger cities and that kind of areas. So that was the only main way, and the reason why I didn't really like it was if I made a casual mining run, which I usually do, and you're probably also going to see me make a casual mining run now. If I did that, I would mostly make 2,000, 3,000, something like that, Alpha UEC. And for that time it takes you to actually find a rock, break it, and vacuum up the good parts. It was it was not fun. It was a bit of a hassle. So you may ask yourself, what has changed then now than before? Because I mean, the mining, the way you mine is the same. The difference here is that when you mine now, the only real difference it makes whether you, only pick up the very expensive stuff, like for instance Quantanium, or you mine the very purest rocks, or just mine whatever you find. The only real difference it makes compared to your income is how many trips you want to make back and forth. So, but I will explain. This is much easier to explain when we get to that point. Let's just go to the lobby and secure this ship and pull out a Prospector. I think we're going to go mining at the, let me see, Crew L3? Yeah, Crew L3 this time. So let's just mark it so that we're ready. So we're going to take a Prospector to Crew L3. Hopefully we will find a Quantanium rock, but generally I'll try to show you what I mean with you can be a little bit more lax about which kind of rocks you choose to mine. And that's really what brought me on board with mining, because for some people the search is the interesting thing, right? You fly around in an asteroid field, or you fly around on a planet, the surface of a moon or something like that, and you scan and you scan, and then you find a rock and you scan that, and then you find another rock, and you put a lot of effort into finding the rock, the best rock. That's not what interests me. What interests me is the mining itself, the little mining gameplay loop, and it has changed quite a bit since the previous versions, so that is also one... Hi there, how are you? Not very talkative, huh? But I have to go work, so maybe I'll catch you later for a drink? No? Yes? Okay. Let's see, pad L1. Pad L1. Pad 1. Let's see, pad 1. There we go. So let's go visit pad 1 and look at the Prospector. So yeah, like I said, I have a pledge. So in the case that they choose to, and they will at some point, obviously, they choose to wipe the persistence server, the server that holds all our goods, our money, our armor, our ships, and all that. I will still have one Constellation Taurus, hopefully at that point, and one Prospector. I have also bought a mole, and we might, if there's time, I will take that out. We'll obviously go to the Aaron Halo, because one of the things that I prefer about the mole compared to the Prospector is that you can have 3 different lasers on one ship. Obviously you have to run a bit more around in order to use all 3 lasers, and they are meant to be operated by multiple people, a crew, rather than just one person. But I still like that fact that you can do it. And obviously the Prospector holds, I think it's 32 SCUs of cargo. The mole can hold 96, so you can, again, depending on how you want to do things, it's up to you how you want to play the game, obviously. But what I like, what I like about the ability to have that extra cargo room is just that I don't have to be, I don't have to be as critical about what kind of rocks I mine. So if I don't want to search a long time, I can just mine what I find and accept that I will get a lot of inert material. Let me set this think thereabout. Let's set the to crew L3. Oh, maybe I should take off before I try to move forward. Alright. Let's go to crew L3. See if we can find something nice to mine. So yes, obviously if you don't want to fly back and forth as much, if you want to come home with a good haul, obviously you still will have to be a little bit picky about which rocks you choose to break and mine. But in general, you have, in my opinion, what CIG really has done well with their with this refinery is that they have given us more freedom to mine the way that we would like to mine. So we don't have to mine in a certain way. And again, by a certain way, I mean before, when you just had to sell the raw ore at a selling point, you would, you could basically do the same, but it would, for me, it was very, very discouraging for mining that I spent, in my opinion, a good amount of time flying around mining, then getting back, and then only sold my stuff for, I don't know, 2,000, maybe 5,000 UEC, and people told me, oh, I made hundreds of thousands or something like that on a single run. And the way they did it was that they flew around and they only choose the purest rocks. I'm going to show you what I mean about that. the thing with the refinery now is that yes, when you get back there, you still can have a lot of inert material in your hold. But the point is that when you refine your ore, that inert material will be sorted out. So you'll have these normal SCU boxes that you usually load on your ships, and then you can sell those. So also one of the things I like about it is that it really combines two gameplay loops that I like. One is the hauling part. So when I have enough material, I can put it into a caterpillar or my Coney Andromeda, anything like that, then fly to a place and sell it. Let's see, let's go this way here. But also it gives me the ability to really mine, to mine what I want. I can choose one day to be very picky about what I mine. So one way that you can get a lot of a good haul in a prospector like this, which it's with its 32 SCUs of cargo hold, is that, for example, if you break a quantanium rock, then the recommendation from many people is that you exclude any rocks that are less than 20%. And when we scan a rock, I can show you exactly what I mean. And obviously if you get a rock that is high, there are two numbers involved here. I'll try to explain them as good as I can when we find something to scan, that is. So this part can take a little bit of time flying around and finding a rock. Especially if there's a lot of people mining here, then, or had been a lot of people mining, then it will take a lot of time to find something to mine. So one of the things I've noticed, and I'm not sure it's accurate in any way, but it seems to me that the mole... See, oh, there was one. I didn't notice before. The mole seems to have a better scanner, I think? Radar, perhaps? Than the Prospector. At least it seems to me when I fly to the Iron Halo, when I initially scan with the Prospector, I'll probably get 2 or 3 scan pings. But when I do it with the mole, I seem to get a lot more. Alright, so let's see what we have here. Let's break first. So, as you can see, I'm scanning the rock right now. So it is actually a pretty good rock, this. So that's a really nice first start. So as you can see, there are 2 rows of numbers out there. One row of numbers, let me just show you when we get close enough. So on my Prospector, I've put the head that is called the Lancet. Now the Lancet head is mainly thought to be something like a let me see if I can, yeah, I can use it. It's mainly seen as be a support head. Now obviously, since I only have one head on my Prospector, it is not a support head in my case, but that's the way it's thought out to be, so it's not very powerful. It will take a very long time to break a rock, but what is really neat about this head here is that it reduces both the instability and the resistance of the rocks by 75%. Now that's a huge deal, because these quantanium rocks are known for their high instability. And instability means that when you put power into the rock, it usually sort of gradually rises nice and steady. But when there's a lot of instability, it means that it can jump around a heck of a lot. And that means that you can very easily end up in a place that you don't want to be. But let me try to explain these numbers as I've heard them be explained. The first row of numbers here shows the amount in the rock. So here we have 14% quantanium, 6% boracy, and 20% quartz. Out here you have the purity, so these 14% is spread over 34% of the rock, means that when I begin to break it up, I can get a lot of inert material within the quantanium. And the same here, we have 6% spread over 15%, and we have 20% spread over 49%. So that's almost, these 20% are spread over almost half the rock. But we're going to mine it still. So let's get the mining tool up. And get it like this, because then it's easier to see. Alright, so out there you can see we have a charge level, we have optimal, and we have overcharge. When you go into overcharge mode, you are very, very high risk of blowing the rock up in your face. Now, as you can see, the instability of this rock is 6.55, meaning that without reducing the instability, the power level, the charge level will jump all around. It will be completely, almost impossible to control. So let me just show you. When I start the laser, it goes down to 1.63. Then I increase the power level. You can see the charge level rises down there, slowly but steadily. And the reason why it does it the way it does, just get a little bit closer, is because this laser head is not very powerful. But then we add consumables. I have on my head here 3 consumables. One is called Surge, one is called Stampede, and one is called Brand. Let me just show you what Surge does. See? It jumped all the way up, so now we are almost in the green area. We still have somewhat of annoying amount of instability, and we can fix that by using the Brand consumable. Let me show you what happens when I use that. I think it's this way. Yes. You can see the instability went all the way down to 0.40. That's very, very nice. As you can see, the little green bar there doesn't jump back and forth so much. And there we go. Now we have breaking the rock. So let's find something nice to break up. So here we have something 100% quantanium. That is a good rock. That is a really good rock, but notice the instability. And that is another case where the Brand consumable is very nice to have. The Stampede, I believe that will increase the rate at which the green area is filled up. You see, we went up into the overcharge. I'm going to move it around so I can better see what's going on. It went over in overcharge, and that's when it says power critical. So still with the Brand, it's still a bit of a challenge to keep it where it has to be within the green area. So that is broken. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, let's break it, even though if we don't get we don't have the space for it. So remember that the Prospector can only, well, it can only hold 32 SCUs. Now, you might think that's a lot, but 100 kilograms of mass in here, whatever the unit is roughly 1 SCU. So this rock was 49 SCUs. I mean 4,900, I think it was, kilograms of mass. Meaning that if I had to pick all of it up, I would most likely only get, let's see, do we have any other rocks with quantanium? No. Alright. Alright, so let's just break it all up and see. Let me see. Oh yeah, here we have one Contranium. I don't think I need the... Oh, I do need to see what the heck is going on. So let's move it like this. There we go. Instability of 2. It's still a lot. As you can see, it's not going sort of straight up, it's more like jumping back and forth. And that's the instability, meaning that I have to control quite precisely how much power I put into this, my mining effort here. Put too much, I'll get into the red area in risk of going boom. Put too little, and I'll head out of the green area, meaning that I won't put in the power needed. There we go, broken. Let's see. Let's see, that's 2%, we don't want that. Let's see, what about this? 7%. Oh, that's one that is broken. Let's check this out. Also broken. What about this one? 30. Yeah, let's what's that behind it? Oh, that's one we can sniff up. And if you want to know how I control the laser output, I have a Thrustmaster T16000 or 16K, and I use the little throttle device on the bottom of the joystick to control the power output. It gives me much more fine control over the power than the usual mouse wheel will do. Alright, so let's find... We had a lot of 100% rocks around here. Let's see where they went. Oh, that's a good run as well. Pick that up. And you will notice at some point when I start to pick up these rocks, Quantanium rocks, I'll get a little timer, and that's why we have to be very careful with how we pick up these Quantanium rocks. Let's see, where went all the 100%? Oh, that was one, I think, yeah. I'm pretty sure we got, see now you can see it, volatile cargo detected. So we have 14 minutes to pick up all the Quantanium before we go boom boom. And I personally would prefer not to go boom boom. To blow up. So let's see if I can avoid that. Let's see. Yeah, let's take that. It's an okay. Pretty sure that should be another rock with 100%. Maybe there wasn't. Let's see what we have down here. Another continuum rock.
Scan initiated. Scan initiated. Scan initiated.
100% nerd. Yeah, let's take that. 100% quartz.
Scan initiated.
It doesn't seem that I have any more Quantanium rocks around here.
Scan initiated. Scan initiated.
Oh, there was one.
Scan complete. Scan initiated.
Let's take this one here.
Scan complete. Scan initiated.
Let's see if we can find other good rocks there too. A lot of inert. More inert. Let's see. It seems to be an okay one, this one. We only have 2. There we go. Let's head back. So did I put in the... No, I didn't. So we're going to go back to Real 1. Hopefully we picked up all the quantanium that we could find. Now I also get to show you why I really enjoy mining. One of the reasons that I really enjoy mining. So I will see you when we get to Hurl 1. Alright, so let me show you one of the things. Let me get the mining head back. As you can see down there, it says we are at 60% instability, or 60% stability, and we have 8 minutes left before we blow up. Now, at some point, we have a little lamp. Let me just show you up here. At one point, that lamp will begin to light up and flash. First yellow, then orange, and then red. When it starts to flash yellow, I have to consider getting back and unloading the ship, because the cargo that I have is now so unstable that it is in danger of blowing up my ship. When it goes to to orange, I really need to get back. And if I don't make it before it goes to red, I need to jettison the cargo right away. You might even want to consider jettisoning the cargo at the orange point, because the cargo will be very unstable, and so it might even blow up, even though it doesn't go to the red area. So it can blow up before that. So if you're going to mine quantanium, you have to be very careful when you do that. You have to be very considerate of exactly this, that you are mining something that is unstable and that it can blow up in your face. But generally, I would say, if you consider doing what I did, so let me just show you how I mined it. Now you can see it, and now it will blink yellow like that for a while, just like that. So the way I mine, and I would suggest anyone considering mining quantanium should do it in this way, is that you mine, you break up at least, no, you break up all the pieces that you are certain you want to have.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
And then finally, when you have broken up... Let's see if I can get out of this chair. Come on. Alright, I would have shown you a little trick, but it seems that I can't really get... Let me see what it's... No, it's something else. I need to kill myself, so I usually don't get stuck in the seat, but I just did it this time. Alright. What should have happened now is that my ship should be instantly stored. There seems to be a problem with the chat right now. Alright, so let me just see if it is stored. It should be stored right now, and as you can see, you don't see it on my HUD in any case. But let's say I got out of the seat the way I should have gotten out of the seat, the real way, not this way here by killing myself because I was stuck. Then a little trick that you can use in order to avoid having your ship blow up while you're not at it. And I think it's something that CIG might change at a point, but at this right now it is not. It hasn't been changed, and I'm not sure they can. But I don't know. In any case, let's take a look. So as you can see, my Prospector should be stored. Now, as long as your ship is out in the open, there is a chance. I mean, out in the open means that it is in the verse. It is physically in the verse. And you have quantanium inside your ship. It can blow up. Now, for some reason I really don't know. I suppose it's the way that it is coded for storing the ship. When you store your ship full of quantanium, as unstable as it might be, that counter stops. So from now on I should be very, very safe. And I could leave my ship for tomorrow or anything like that. But, well, mainly also because I'm recording a video, it would be completely stupid to just stop it here and then continue tomorrow. But also because I don't know this for certain, I've only heard it. I will try to get this done as fast as I can. Let me show you, we're going to the refinery here. Now the refinery are at all the L1s, all the Lagrange point L1s, and that's the stations there. With one exception, I think there's also one at her L2. There's one L2 where we also have a refinery. So now we are running down to the refinery itself. And there all the workers are nicely lined up. Now in here we have some stuff that you can buy. Let me just show you. No, let me show you afterwards. Okay, still. So we're going to go upstairs here in the refinery, and he's going to say, "Hi, nice to see you again," or something like that. No, he's not. He should. Alright, so here are the original ore sales that we use. So if you touch the screen. Alright, so I don't exactly know why, but yeah, thank you. For some reason I was... Yeah, if you would like to be quiet. For some reason I was thrown off the last server, I'm not sure why. But the way that we sold ore before, was in this setup here. As you can see, with quantanium I would get 98,082. Now that's a pretty good deal, but only because it's quantanium. But as you can see, as the inert material gets in, you'll get very, very little. 2 SEUs, alpha USE for 4% inert material. That's not very much. It's very, very little actually. So we have Borasa and all that. What we can do instead, and that's really why I enjoy mining so much more now, is that we go into this. And I have 3 works in progress, so we're going to open here. We're going to select Prospector. We have a lot of nice refinables. Yes, I do. Now, there are 5 methods that you can use when you process your minables. Cormac, pyrometric, gaskin, electrostereolysis, and solventation.
See anything you like?
Would you please be quiet? Cormacs, you'll get a moderate speed, moderate cost, and low yield. So why the heck would you choose that? Pyrometric, you get high speed, high cost, high yield. And I'm going to show you. It will take 6 hours, but it will cost me 27,000. 27,166 alpha UC. Alright, next option, Gaskin. High speed, high cost, moderate yield. Cost me 27,000, takes 1 hour. Nah. Electrostereolysis. Lysis. Moderate speed, moderate cost, moderate yield. So it's moderate all the way around. Cost me 9,000, takes 3 hours. But I don't want moderate yield. You can see I'll get 500, I'll get 1,600 or something like that out of the... Let me see if I can zoom in. No, I can't. 22,800. 100. Not good. Denuxolvination. Very low speed, moderate cost, high yield. Let's get the quota on that. So you can see that gives me 1,947. So I want to check something. Let me see if I take pyrometric. Yeah, it also gives me 1947. So that's the highest I can get out of this quantanium refining here. Yeah, it also they give -6% of quantanium. That's not so good, but nevertheless, it's the place I choose to do it. So they have extreme workload still here. So Linux. Yep. Cost me 4,527, and it will take 1 day and 13 hours. So I'll get a pretty good yield. Now, the beauty of this is, while this is running, you can see we get quartz, beryl, quantanium. And we have this over here as well, boracid. So we get 83. Sorry. We get 82 yield, 1947. When this is finished, we'll get it as these little boxes that you usually buy when you do trading missions. So when you buy stuff from an outpost and then you fly and sell it, it's the same boxes that you'll get, meaning that the limit on how much you can sell at one point is only defined on the size of your ship. So right now, if you have a Caterpillar, which is the largest ship, the ship with the largest amount of hauling capacity right now, you can put a lot of stuff in. Let me just give you an example. Let's see, let me just go on. Let me just show you. The Caterpillar, sorry, the Prospector can at most hold 32 SCUs. So if you imagine that the you could fill up the Prospector with only pure material, no inerts whatsoever, and you could get all of the stuff that you had when you refine it. You can get full yield, no loss at all. The Prospector can hold 32 SCUs. The Caterpillar can hold 575, 73, something like that SCU. So you can imagine, even with a full Prospector, full yield and all that, you still have to fly back and forth a lot in order to fill it up. So now we have emptied the content of our Prospector, and let's try to let me see what my 55 minutes. No. I think I'll end this video right now because it's already taking a bit too long. At least I've recorded for quite a while now, almost an hour. So I'll stop the video right now. In the next video, we'll look at how I use the mole for doing solo mining. Obviously, I can show you my setup. So let me just get the ships. So let's take the Prospector that we took out right now. Let's see, there it is, Prospector 2. And the reason why I have two Prospectors is because first I bought one in game. So that's the reason why. So as you can see, I've put on the Lancet MH1 mining laser. I also have the Helix and the Impact. Now, which of the laser heads that are the best have been turned? It's been shifted around a little bit compared to how it was usually. Usually, you just go for the Helix. That would be the very best one, and you can break anything and you can do anything. Now they have changed the way they work. The Helix is not as a good head as it was before. For instance, you can see the instability is minus 30%. The resistance is minus 10%. But you also get +2 to all charge radius. Optimal window size will be 15. Shatter damage +50. And throttle responsiveness delay is -50. So they have changed it a little bit. It doesn't reduce the instability and the resistance as much. If we take the Impact, for example, you see you get 2300 in power. Here you get 2200 in power. You get +10 in instability here and -25 in resistance. But you also get a better charge window and optimal charge rate. You will also get something in the overcharge and the shatter damage, but you do have full control over the power. Compared to, for example, with the Lancet, here you have 1400 in power transfer. That's pretty low. You have -75% instability and -75% resistance, meaning that it will cut off a good chunk of the instability and the resistance here. We get optimal charge window will be +40, so we'll get a little bit there as well. All charge rates are -30, so it reduces some there, but it also reduces the shatter damage, and we get +50 in control of our throttle, so we have much more fine control over it. The extraction is roughly the same for all the heads. I've put on a search consumable, and as you saw what the search did, it instantly pushed up the our charge around 40%. The Stampede, if I'm not mistaken, when we're in the green area, it will increase the time it takes. I mean, it will decrease the time. It will increase the rate at which we fill up the power in the rock before it breaks. And finally, we have the brand consumable that will reduce the instability of the rock, but it will also decrease the power transfer to the rock, so it will take a little bit longer time. So let me just show you what we have here. Let me see if I can find it there, the Argo Mole. So obviously, since the Prospector is a single manned vessel for mining, there's only room for one person in here. Yes, you can hear my wife and my daughter in the background. She keeps talking to me. Just want my attention for some reason. I'm not sure why. Let me just see if I can get the Carrack here. Yeah, I could. Alright. Yeah, I bought a Carrack as well. Argo Mole. There we go. So as you can see, for turret weapon slot 3, let me see if I can show you it. You should be able to see... There you can see 1 is, 3, 2 is over there, so 3 is here. So here we have the Lancet, same configuration. At the front I have the Impact mining laser, and over here I have the Helix mining laser. Now, you can argue why this setup. Well, for one, I could also have put a Lancet over here, but I wanted to sort of make it a little bit different. So the idea here is with the mole is that you have more than one person, obviously, since it's a 5-person crewed ship. So the idea here from my perspective is that, for example, I could take out I could ask my son to join me, so he would be sitting in the Lancet head here, and I will be sitting in the impact laser head here. So what he would do is that he would use the Lancet here as a support laser to reduce the instability, while I would use either the Helix or the Lancet to break the rock in itself. And that's the way it works here, because yes, this will add a little bit instability, but you'll still reduce the instability here. And now I come to think of it, yeah, no, I'll leave it like this. But you could also put brands and all that into the impact mining laser here to reduce the instability of the rock. But I'll show you how I use the mole in the next video, because it's a very different way to mine with the mole, mainly because you have 3 different heads that you can use as a solo player, but also since you have a lot more room to store your stuff in, you can actually, usually I can mine 2 rocks if I'm selective, and I can easily mine an entire asteroid by picking up everything there is, even though how much inert material there's in it. So yeah. And one final thing I want to show you. Look at this. Yes, I'm a member of the concierge right now, so you may address me as Sir or High Admiral. Yes, I reached that level, so you know what that means. But I think it's pretty cool. I do want to support this game. I think it's a good game. Alright, I will see you in the next video. Hope that you enjoyed this. You know the drill if you like it, if you don't like it. And if you want to follow me and see whenever I put out a new video, then you know which buttons to press. I don't want to say it anymore. I just want to wish that you are secure out there, that you're well, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.